Today I have with me Mr. Manoj Kumar. He is the father of Manav Singh, the then 17-year-old boy who took his own life because certain miscreants got together on the internet and decided that come what may, we are going to end the life of this poor child despite no fault of his own. Everyone knows about the boys' locker room incident where certain allegations were made. There was a huge public outcry. But as a collateral damage of the boys' locker room incident, completely unrelated to the boys' locker room incident, this one girl wakes up one day after 2 years apparently and says that I don't have any proof, but after seeing the boys' locker room incident, I cannot hold it any longer. And I want to tell the world out there that this man, Manav Singh, assaulted me, attempted to rape me, and she goes on to say this on the internet. She says this on the popular social media platform Instagram. And then what starts is this whole saga of pain and suffering. For whom? The girl? Not really. I have with me the man who lost his only child because a woman thought that she could abuse the process of law. And I wanted to hear from Manojji's words himself, the whole story of how he lost his son and what he has been doing since the past more than 1 year now to get a little semblance of justice for his son. Sir.
Well, Amish, this happened on 4th of May last year, and that's a black day in our lives. The day was perfect. There was nothing absolutely to even think that something like this is about to come. And this thing just happened. I mean, Manav just lost his life for absolutely no fault of his, just because a girl goes online and makes false allegations against a child. What we learned today is that the girls did spend a good amount of time to plan. They zeroed in on Manav after thinking of targeting 4 or 5 other possible candidates on whom they could try this trick, and they ran it like a campaign for some time. They started to coordinate between themselves. They planned who would make the first post, so who would make the second one, who would tag Manav, who would do this, who would do that. And mind you, all of these girls had thousands of followers. I mean, it is surprising that they had thousands of followers without any posts would have made. They would make a post, delete it. So their whole methodology of doing this was crooked. They did that. They started off by making the first post, and in minutes somebody tagged Manav. That was the girl who was supposed to tag Manav. Okay. Then the other girls tagged Manav. So, I mean, in no time this had become viral. I mean, Manav, my child, I mean, he was abused, he was trolled, he was threatened, his life was made hell, and it took him just about less than 1 hour to give up his life because he could not handle, or rather these people made it so suffocating for him that he could not rise up to the occasion. I mean, they just killed him. They just killed him off.
So I wanted you to talk about the kind of challenges you had to face in just getting an FIR registered, because if we draw comparisons, and we can't help but draw comparisons as a legal professional, I see this on so many occasions. If a person commits suicide, what kind of a role does the gender play? If it's a woman who commits suicide, immediately an FIR is registered, immediately arrests are made, not just of the main accused person but the entire family. because it doesn't matter. That a valuable life has been lost, and therefore we must serve justice in the form of pre-trial arrest, custody, and the courts also being very, very reluctant in granting bail. Manoj ji, you have seen firsthand the whole way the FIR was registered, and how the accused persons were also granted or not granted bail. I wanted you to talk about that as well, sir.
Well, it took us a few hours to understand what exactly happened. Manav jumped from the balcony, and I went and picked up pieces of his skull and his brain, which just spluttered out. I mean, that is so difficult to even acknowledge and accept even today. Then we learnt within no time that this was a result of a fake post which a girl had made, and that triggered this off. Well, after we cremated Manav, we wanted to bring about justice. So the first thing we did was to inform the police. We did that in writing. The police heard us out. We also gave the names and the addresses of the girls who had done this. The police behaved very well. They immediately told, okay sir, अभी जाते हैं और उनको धर के लेकर आते हैं. So they went to the house. Something would have been exchanged there, and they came back and did nothing. Then I followed with them every 4 hours. Has the FIR been done? Has the FIR been done? करते हैं नहीं करते हैं, करते हैं नहीं करते हैं. Then it was given to another police officer. करते हैं नहीं करते हैं. And in 3-4 days time, we understood that these people are not in a mood to write an FIR at all. I mean, you are right that if something like this happens to a girl, an FIR would immediately be registered. But please, I mean, it was a child which had gone. I mean, it is not the boy's fault that he's a boy. I mean, whether it's boy who has gone, or a girl who has gone, or an old man who has gone, or anybody who has gone, I mean, the police must take that with same amount of seriousness. I mean, the same amount of way in which you hold candles and, you know, come out on the streets and fight for justice. I mean, just because he was a boy, you don't do that. I mean, why? And so that was very difficult to understand. The police dilly-dallied a lot in writing an FIR itself. I mean, we had to beg them and leak low, and it is a real shame that even today, if someone like this can be treated in the city of Gurgaon, where we stay, and if it was so difficult for us to write an FIR, imagine the plight of a poor guy, I mean, who could be in, let us say, Muzaffarnagar, or he could be in some place of Rajasthan, or let's say any such place where he will have no means or access or to even get an FIR done. You would just take it as your fate and then move on with life. I mean, I was not willing to do that. I was not willing to give my son a departure like this. We persisted that an FIR be done, and very reluctantly, very reluctantly, I can tell you that an FIR was written. An FIR was written against unknown people. Can you imagine? Against unknown people. When we had given the names of the people, we had mentioned them by name, we gave their addresses, and still they write an FIR against unknown people. And so FIR was written against unknown people after about 10 days time. 10 days time. The police thought that these people will give up after 2-3 days. After 2-3 days, they will stop pestering us. But I was not willing to give up, and I was wanting justice to happen at any cost. So the police took more than 10 days to do it.
And after the registration of the FIR, because a lot of times what happens is that people think that once an FIR is registered, the police will investigate into the matter and justice will prevail, the truth will come out, we will see the police go about doing their duty in a significant non-bailable offense like this one. The police will definitely go and make arrests, do custodial interrogations, get the statements of the witnesses, collect the digital evidence, and file a complete charge sheet which will ensure that the deceased person, a 17-year-old boy, gets some justice, and that the perpetrators be punished. Manojji, I want to know from you, after the FIR was registered, what happened? What were your discussions with the police, and and what transpired around that time?
Well, as you rightly said, a common man would expect कि अगर FIR लिख लिया गया है तो अब न्याय मिलेगा. I mean, न्याय तो पुलिस से नहीं मिला. And so they gave the FIR. They gave me an FIR copy after begging them a lot कि FIR की कॉपी तो दे दो कम से कम. So उन्होंने एक FIR की कॉपी दे दी. FIR की कॉपी देकर उन्होंने सोचा कि अपना उनका काम ख़त्म, क्योंकि उनको जो मिलना था मिल गया, हजम कर लिया जो करना था. And then they relaxed. They did nothing. They did nothing for I think 2-3 months. 2-3 months they did not do anything. Okay. I wanted to know, have you taken the statement of the girls? हम बोला जी हाँ जी ले लिया है. झूठ बोलते रहे कि स्टेटमेंट ले लिया है, ये कर लिया है, वो कर लिया है. When you, I mean, by that time I had learned little bit about that law, that if a police guy goes to take a statement, they would need the child commission buy-in. I mean, they were just fibbing and making up stories कि हाँ जी ले लिया ले लिया ले लिया है. And frankly, the police really thought that we would not pursue the matter beyond a few more days and then forget about it. The police, I mean, we expect the police. Why do you think in India people don't trust the police? Because the police never lives up to what they're supposed to do. I mean, even if there's a girl, I mean, if a girl is being raped and she sees a policeman going by, she will not ask the policeman for help, because the policeman will also join in the whole episode. So nobody trusts the police. I mean, we all know, I mean, how the police works. I mean, people join police for a certain reason. I mean, so the police did absolutely nothing. We were very tired, and then we were advised that we go to the magistrate's court. I mean, we made an application there, and we wanted the magistrate to sort of oversee the investigation. That is when the police got a little alert. Ki, oh, ये तो साले होशियार बन रहे हैं. And then they started to move a little bit. So they tried to move. They presented themselves in the court, and they said कि जी investigation start करते हैं. 3-4 months had passed by then.
And at this point of time, I would also like to point out that when Manoj sir had approached me, I think this was somewhere around June of 2020. I had suggested that there is a very less known principle of invoking section 156 clause 3 of the Criminal Procedure Code, which is normally used by people to approach a magistrate when no FIR is being registered. So if no FIR is being registered, you use this clause, you go to the magistrate directs the police, if the magistrate feels that this is a case worth police investigation, to conduct an investigation into the matter. Here the FIR was already registered. Most people don't know this, but there is a judgment of the Supreme Court from several years ago called Sakiri Vasu versus, I believe it's state of UP. And in that judgment, the Supreme Court said that apart from directing registration of an FIR, directing investigation of a case, the magistrate can also monitor the investigation. And this is something which frankly you will see happening in maybe 10,000 or 20,000 cases, where after registration of the FIR, otherwise, from so many cases that I have seen, the police, if they want to, and when they take bribes, like they clearly did in this particular case, they sit on the file for 10, 20, 30 years if they want to. It is only if a magistrate sees some pending files from 10 years later that the magistrate will say, why is it that this case has not been wrapped up? Or worse, they could have even filed a cancellation report. They could have said that after conducting investigation, we found out that no investigation is being done. So then we filed an application under section 156 clause 3 before the magistrate in the Gurgaon courts. The magistrate was kind enough to issue notice in the matter. The police appeared, as Manoj ji said, and the police at that point of time had the audacity to say that we do not consider, when the magistrate asks him, do you consider any person to be an accused person? Why are you not doing anything in this FIR after registering this FIR? The police person says, this investigating officer says, I do not consider, we are not at this point of time considering any person as an accused person. Despite As sir said, there being names, there being witnesses, there being ample digital proof as well, including a lot of it only collected by the man who lost his son, only submitted to the police, and who went almost every other day to the police station after this thing happened in May and June of 2020. And after fighting for several months, about 2 or 3 months after adjournment after adjournment. Why? Because the police would not file their status report, will not file their action taken report, and then come and with the audacity say that we do not consider any person to be an accused person. And then it was then that the magistrate was kind enough to say that yes, this is one of those cases where I deem it fit that investigation should be monitored by me, because you people are clearly not doing your job for reasons best known to you, but for reasons which clearly we can see was the case. The magistrate in the month of August 2020 finally directs conduct investigation and submit a report to this court every 15 days. And then every 15 days a date was given by the magistrate, and again we shamefully add, the police do not do anything. They move at a pace slower than a snail and deliberately stretch out the investigation as much as possible. Every 15 days we come, the police don't appear. We ask, the court issues them notice saying, why have you not filed your status report for this 15th day? They have no reply. They come after the other 15th day, and then they will add one line to the previously done investigation. They stretch this on for several months. The magistrate then, upon our application, issues show cause as to why you're not still doing anything. And at that point of time, they compile an excuse for a charge sheet, a pathetic one at that. Despite us filing numerous applications before the judge, I believe we filed 3 applications also under section 91 of the Criminal Procedure Code, saying that Instagram, Snapchat, and which other, WhatsApp, these companies do not keep their data for very long. We must have a direction by the police or by the court to these companies saying that you must preserve this data. And despite our applications, which are all part of the record, the police do not move an inch. They then go and write a notice to Snapchat, to Snap Inc., and to Instagram, which we were able to read as well, in which again we are able to see clearly that with this direction, with this order of the police, neither Snapchat nor Instagram can track any Snapchat group or Instagram group. Those notices were completely useless. Sir keeps trying, reaches out to all of these companies by himself, yet it is also settled law that these companies will not respond to a private individual. He tries, but comes nothing in terms of digital proof. The only thing that comes as a little bit of, little ray of hope, even in all these tumultuous times, is the fact that some witnesses have come forward, and all these witnesses are there ready to testify to the fact that these girls called them up on the day of the incident and messaged them on the day of the incident and said, we are getting together and filing this complaint against this we are going to go online and post this. So A will post this, and then B will circulate it, and then you all get behind in this bandwagon, and then you publish this all over the internet, and let's ensure that this man does not see light of day. Despite this, the police do nothing, and they, around January of 2021, they go to the court and they say, हमने तो जी juvenile justice court में, because most of the accused persons are juveniles below the age of 18, हमने तो juvenile justice court के अंदर हमने अपनी charge sheet file कर दी है. We then again move to invoke the law. We file an application under section 173 clause 8 of the Criminal Procedure Code, and we seek further investigation by the court. In that, illegally, the accused persons appear despite not having been issued any notice by the court to appear, summons to appear not issued by the court. The counsels come, deliberations go on, and then again lockdown happens, because of which court hearings are not going on. But one other thing that I would like to point out as well, that around I think October or November of 2020, looking at the slow pace of the investigation deliberately done by the police, and the magistrate also on numerous occasions noticing that they are not doing anything, we approached the Punjab Haryana High Court seeking investigation by the CBI in the matter, because it is only the High Court of a state which can order investigation by the CBI, and the magistrate does not have the power. And so we went and we contended that the magistrate did her job, and she did the best that she could have done by ordering monitoring of investigation. And despite that, if the police are not doing anything, the magistrate has no other power, and therefore the only remedy which is available to us is the High Court. The Honorable High Court disagrees with us blatantly and says no, there is no cause for any appointment of or direction to the CBI to investigate. We then take this matter to the Supreme Court. We file a special leave petition before the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court was very, very kind enough to appreciate our pain as well as our efforts, but said that because we have been doing such a good job of filing an application for monitoring of investigation, and investigation is being done, that this stage is a stage where they are not inclined. But they said, the Honorable Supreme Court said, the division bench said, that you are welcome to come to us in the near future if there is any other update in the matter. But apart from this, Manoj ji was, with the effort and the energy, and of course with the pain of thinking nothing else, he went about doing something else, because of which we again have a little bit of hope in still securing justice for Manav. And sir, I wanted you to talk about that now.
See, when this whole thing happened, I was trying to seek every avenue possible who can help us, and I did approach the NHRC, and through their online portal I did submit my complaint. And I named the accused people. Then NHRC did acknowledge that, and then NHRC then asked the police for action taken reports. They asked them for 3 times. 3 times they got the reports, and a cock and bull story was sent to them. कर रहे हैं, हो रहे हैं, चल रहा है, हो जाएगा. Along these lines it was being sent. And of course, even the NHRC would have seen through the matter. The pace it was just going was very, very slow. In fact, one policeman has told me himself that if they want, and if the directions to them are clear, they can solve this case in 4 hours time. Literally 4 hours time. You have shown the proof. We know what to ask Instagram. We know what to ask Snapchat. And if they make the right efforts, if at the right levels the effort is made, they can have that email back confirming what has been done within 4 hours. But no, it was never done. I'm sorry to say that the police has very intelligent people, and they use their intelligence in ways and manners in which to protect whoever favors them the most. In this case, the girls are extremely resourceful, and their parents are extremely resourceful. They've utilized all means fair and foul to make sure that nothing ever happens to them. They feel that you can kill a person, you can aid and abet and kill a person, you can destroy somebody's future, and the world be damned, nothing will happen to me. That is the kind of a confidence which they all have right now. That's it.
But what happened after the NHRC?
Okay, after the NHRC order came in, the NHRC order very clearly states that the case would be shifted over to CBCID. I was reading that for the first time what CBCID meant, so I understand it is Crime Branch CID. It would be given over to them, and they would expect a report within 8 weeks from 9th of this month. So the CBCID would, I guess, take up and investigate what has really happened, In fact, the directive is to reinvestigate the whole case, because in this case, I mean, to be very frank and honest, there's been no investigation done. From 14 girls who were supposed to be investigated, only 2 have been investigated. The rest have been let go of. And in fact, as late as last 7 weeks back, I had myself in writing given the names of 2 other people who need to be investigated. I was assured that something would be done in 7 days' time, but obviously the police has more better things to do in life, and so they did nothing on that matter at all. Nothing, absolutely nothing. They do not understand the pain of someone who's lost his child, and to them it is of no consequence.
So despite all our efforts, and of course we did make some progress. We have the charge sheet, which to a certain extent at least says that there are accused persons, and we have gratitude for the fact that earlier these girls would have not even thought twice before doing something like this again, and would have perhaps even motivated other false accusers or other people who would have a thought in their mind that we could also get away by falsely accusing someone. Here we are trying our best. It's been over a year since Manav lost his life to the actions of these people, and we hope that the CBCID will do its investigation, and if it doesn't, of course we are here to ensure that no matter what, we go to courts, we avail of, and if needed we go through this process again. If needed, we invoke the constitutional powers of the High Court, and if needed the Supreme Court, and we try our best to ensure that this boy who lost his life, who lost a whole future, does not feel that nothing was done. I know it's very, very difficult for you to talk about this, Manojji. Of course, we talk about the legal strategies all the time, but for us to sit down and talk about, how, having an only son, having an only child, and what else remains of your life when you lose the thing that matters the most to any parent, and to still have that fire inside of you to ensure that justice is done and these miscreants face the consequences of their actions. Thank you for doing this, sir, and of course we keep up the fight going, and we ensure that there is a logical, sane conclusion to all of this madness.